Day 16 to the glory of God. We're gonna do a little strength, a little movement. So we've got Lunge Matrix to start with. Instead of finishing with it, push, pull, squat, hinge, and then rotate. So begin with a Lunge Matrix, go nice and deep. That's forward, forward diagonal, lateral, backward diagonal, straight back. But notice I'm leaning pretty far forward, and that's counterbalancing because I'm putting the weight into my heel, and if I didn't lean forward, I'd actually fall backward. And then last but not least, post pattern. So you guys got the Lunge Matrix down. So now we're gonna add arm drivers. So we're gonna kind of camp out on the Lunge Matrix for a second, but this is gonna help us mobilize as well as engage all of our body's musculature all the way through up to the eyeballs and ears, all the way out to the fingertips. So it's down position first in the first position, still first position, we go forward, forward, still first position. Now we go up, up, reaching up, rotate, rotate, and then over the top lateral bends. This is a great test of your balance. So now we go forward diagonal, same thing, low. So if you're off balance, you know, you just should slow it down, train, not go as far deep into the lunge, and not step out as far either. So again, I'm doing the same movement. So it's down, forward, up, rotation, and then I'm lateral bending, lateral bending. So I make sure I'm steady in that stance, and then I'm reaching. Boom. Steady in that lunge, steady in that stepping foot. Go forward. So you'll end up doing 5 reps in each position, and you're gonna be engaging dynamically through upper body and arm movements. And what that's doing is that's gonna actually send force loads down into your foot, different in your foot coming up as well, right? So now my foot has to stabilize even more. Reach. We're gonna go up. So now this stepping foot has to engage with that ground, stabilize even more so that I don't come off balance, and so that I can generate upper body movement. And so this is very much like life, sport. And what I'm doing is now I've got all this mapped ground, central nervous system, peripheral nervous system, muscularly, my tendons, my joints. I've got all this mapped movement, all this mapped ground from which I can provide a stable foundation, and then from that stable foundation create movement and do things with my upper body. So it's more than just strengthening, right? When we're doing our strength exercises, it's more than just conditioning when we're doing our conditioning exercises. So back and under, down, back and under, forward, back and under, forward, back and under, up, back and under, up, back and under, rotation, right? So I'm providing mobility, right? Dynamic mobility, but mobility nonetheless. I'm also mapping what's tight, what's sore. Now we're gonna go over the top, or 6th or 7th, second to last movement, over the top, lateral, down, forward. So a good map, a good assessment of my body in all these dynamic movements. And obviously we could play with the nuance, and we could add load. Oh, I'm rotating. We could add load, and I'm over. We could add small nuanced movements while we do this if we wanted to, but really this lunge matrix with arm drivers is definitely mapping all of the potential and opportunities for my body to move. It's pretty rad, pretty incredible. And so that's why I love doing this lunge matrix. It's a mobilizer, it's a warm-up, it's a way to engage, it's a way to strengthen, it's a way to establish solid foundation, right? And we could do this consistently. So that took a little less than 5 minutes. Yeah, because I did the lunge matrix first and did an intro. So approximately 5 minutes to do that lunge matrix with arm drivers. So then we're gonna try to roll through 2 rounds of the strength, and we're gonna start with weight on the first one. So we did our lunge matrix with arm drivers, and then we'll leave that lunge matrix. We won't do lunge anymore. So we'll just do push, pull, squat, hinge, and rotate. Okay, and we're gonna go, your goal is to, either stick with what you were able to do the last time you did this, or increase it just a little bit more with reps or with sets or with weight, right? So we'll start with push-up. Push-up is by far the best push move in my opinion, and not that my opinion totally matters. I'm gonna go without. As long as you still have good strong abs, strong upper back, your abs are engaged, back is engaged, and I can hold good form about 90 degrees at my hip. Oh, and switch. It's hard for me to count and talk at the same time, I apologize. But the push-up, because we're having to engage our abs, because we're having to engage our upper back, you're doing a dynamic plank essentially, right? It's a plank, but now we're dynamically lowering ourselves down, pressing ourselves up with our arms. So by far the best push movement in my opinion. Now, the only issue is when you get really strong and you're gonna need to add weight, so then you'll have to flip it over to a bench or a floor bench or something like that. Or you could just do explosive push-ups and push yourself up off the ground. So pretty rad. All right, and then we'll do a front-loaded squat. This is gonna help us engage our abs. Let's see if I can do it here. Yeah, that's better. And maybe you can't go that deep, that's fine. Front load and just quarter squat, right? And your goal will be to try to get a little bit deeper every time, or a little bit deeper every week, right? All right, and then I'm gonna actually hold it here, and then I'm gonna do my hinge. So again, I'm going pretty deep, but I'm not losing form. See, the back is nice and straight. I feel it engage my hamstrings nice and tight. Then I pull up, lock in the glutes. I'm not hipping forward, right? Nice. And then last but not least, I'm gonna actually use my weight this time. Notice I still got that heel flare. My abs are engaged. I'm not over rotating and hurting my spine. Nice. That is set number 1. And we're at 10 minutes. So I'm gonna let you hit set number 2. I'm gonna turn it off and I'm gonna hit set number 2. Maybe even set number 3, depending on how you feel. Now, if you feel totally smashed, couldn't keep up, maybe you're doing too many reps, and that's okay. You go to 5 reps, go to 10 reps. But all of it is to glorify God and the movement capacities that He's given us with pushing and pulling and rotating and lunging and squatting and hinging. So all to the glory of God. I love you and I'm praying for you.